Okay, so today I'm starting one of those detailed building projects because it's time to upgrade some animal enclosures. And as always, I'll be using some great stuff foam and some random trash to create something epic. So sit back and enjoy the show. And be thankful that you didn't have to do all the cleanup that I've had to do on this project. And speaking of which, if you'd like some detailed enclosure work like this, and you can't or don't want to do it yourself, let me know. I'll be selling complete setups like this real soon. From full setups to individual pieces and decor, I got you covered. Whatever ideas you have, just let me know. I could probably make it. And again, I'm starting by covering my table with saran wrap, because great stuff foam won't stick to it, as long as you let it dry before removing it. So my plan for this one is to make a tree for an arboreal tarantula. So as you might have seen in the intro, I cut a hole in this cardboard tube that'll serve as a hollow in the tree, giving her the option to use it as a hide, or maybe a food bowl. Now unlike the log that I made scarlet, my ball python, this tree won't be completely hollow. I mean, I'm sure the spider would like it, but she's a versicolor. She's beautiful, so I want to be able to see her more. If I give her too good of a hiding place, I might not see her at all. So I'm doing the main trunk of the tree first, and then I add the limbs. I use a clothes hanger bent in the shape as the structure of the limb. Then I foamed over it, and that's it.
Oh, this is horrible.
As you can see, it's called expanded foam for a reason. And now the part I hate, covering myself with foam particles. Yeah, let's just go ahead and fast forward through that nasty part. Ugh, see what I mean? Clean up on aisle 4, please. Okay, so it's the next day, and it's time to cover this thing with Drywalk. But first, I had to shorten the limb to fit it in the enclosure. So I'm cutting off the excess clothes hanger. And now for the foam coat. So this not only waterproofs the foam, but it makes it more rigid. So to last longer over time and traffic. Okay, so I got the base color in black done. It's time to start the detail. Well, there's one coat on. I'm going to let it set up so I don't blur all the colors together, and then go back and add some more detail when it dries. Alright, I got the tree painted up, got all my detail done, and I put rain guard on it. So now it's waterproof, so the paint won't run off when I spray it down. And I always go a little bit overboard on the rain guard. That's why it's a little bit shoddy, but I think some of that will wear off. Might even set it in the sun for a couple days. So to the enclosure, this one. Then we got a Repticon. So it did come with a background insert, which was this piece. And it was a lot lighter, but I darkened it up because the tone was all wrong to match the tree. So now they look good next to each other. But the problem is when I put them in the enclosure, it's just too dark. And I need some more contrast. So, probably not going to use this today. But I will save that for another enclosure. That'll probably be lighter colors in the foreground. And that way the dark background will make sense. But for now, I think I got another plan. First of all, let's see where we want to position the tree. We can put it in this corner just like this. Prop this up with a brush. It's got an uneven bottom. Alright. So I'm debating whether or not I want to do a full background or if I want to leave part of it open with glass. The other option I have is I could just lighten the background back up, but I really don't have the shade of brown that I want, so for now I'm probably just gonna go to plan B. And I almost forgot to mention, I already took the screen lid and modified it. Added plastic with a couple vent holes, just so the spider can't get his feet caught in the screen. Because that's not a fun day if you're a spider. So I got a bag full of these random cork bark pieces. I'm just going to glue them across the back and drape some fake plants over the top, just to hide the seams. I wish I had one solid piece, but this'll work. So I gotta save at least one of these for my other tarantula that I'll be moving into a slightly larger enclosure too. He's a Brazilian blue, so he's fossorial, so he lives underground. So I'm gonna take a larger one and carve it out to use it like a top of a cave. Now we're getting somewhere. See, I'm just kind of arranging them together, trying to piece them together like a puzzle. There's a little hole in the middle, which might make another hide for them, if they can squeeze up in there. Yes. Unfortunately, the hot glue gun that I got is not real good. I have a better one, and I don't know where I put it. So I'm going to try to use it, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to go back to the old crackhead method and melt it with a lighter. And I just realized this thing's been plugged in all night, so maybe it'll be hot enough to melt glue now. Whoops. Problem is it feeds the glue so slow that it cools off before you get time to lay it down. Kind of like that arrangement so far. This trunk's got to go in first. I wanted a little more coverage down here. Perfect spot for it. That looks good. There's a lot of times that I'm doing a project and I find a piece that's left over from a previous project that's already cut and it's about cut perfect. And I think this is one of those pieces. That'll work. That would glue the tree in the bottom. That's where we are now. So now I'm going to add some dirt. Last year at Christmas, my sister gave me this soil and the cork bark. And I've been saving them both for this project right here. So let's get to it. Might use the whole bag. Go ahead and put the whole bag in there. A little low in that back corner. And there it is with the dirt in it. I'm liking how it's turning out. Well, I got my Amazon order, and I made a tire swing. So basically I took this string, which was too thin, so I braided it. and made some thicker rope. Then I took a deli cup, cut the ring off the top, and stuck it in the tire so it can hold the sphagnum in water. Now, I just gotta hang it up. And it's done. Let's check it out. And as you can see, I got my air plant. I love this color. Man, you can find some really cool ones on Amazon. And of course, I know what everybody wants to know about, the tire swing. I mean, when I made this tree and I saw the way the branch hung over, the idea just popped in my head instantly and I couldn't resist. I know what you're wondering. Why does a tarantula need a tire swing? I mean, is it really going to swing on it? Well, the truth is, it's going to be a water bowl. And you're probably wondering, why is a water bowl full of sphagnum moss? Maybe you don't know, but spiders don't drink out of bowls. Or puddles. Because the truth is, a bowl or a puddle is a death sentence to a spider. So instead, what they normally do is just suck the moisture off of organic material, like leaves and sphagnum moss. So when the idea popped up that I thought it would look cool with a tire swing, I thought I'd make it useful. So I took a plastic deli cup, put it inside the tire, filled it with sphagnum moss. And now it can serve as two purposes. To entertain me, and be a nice source of moisture. This is much cooler than a sponge. By the way, don't use sponges anymore. Use something more organic, like sphagnum moss. Now I'm going to spray it down real quick before I put the spider in there. Wet the water bowl tire swing up real good. Now with all that moisture, there's plenty of places to drink from. By the way, all those that are wondering, this air plant is not in the dirt. I glued it to the side of that tree right there, so the base of it has still got airflow underneath it, and it can dry out. And if you're wondering, this is for the Versacolor, because that tarantula is growing up really fast, and I can't wait to get it in this glass so I can see its colors and all of its glory. Now, before I move the spider in, I got one more thing, because I figured while I was upgrading the house for this spider, I may as well do my other one, the Tarantula saltami, or the Brazilian blue, the fossorial spider. So, I made that cage a little bit different. Now, he's a little bit of a slower grower, but in the last couple weeks, he has put on some size. So the house doesn't have to be as big as this one, but it's still quite an upgrade. And it'll make it a lot easier for me to feed him than trying to deal with that little tiny square box. You know, this box. So I'm going to set this aside so I can show you the other enclosure. And here it is. So it's just a small acrylic box that I picked up at Big Lots. So I went through and poked a whole bunch of ventilation holes through the top. And I managed to crack the lid. So I glued this piece of screening material over the top to hold the plastic together. Now I do have plans to change the lid up, but I don't have the wood I need yet, so I'm going to have to go to Lowe's before I can do that part. Basically, right now it's a snap-on lid, which is fine. The spider can't get out. But I want to put a wood frame around the bottom and the top, just so it looks better, and make the lid magnetic, so it's easier to get on and off. Because when dealing with spiders or snakes, you really don't want to shake them up a lot and make them nervous. So any lid or door that's easier to open makes it better on the animal. And it's easier on you. But anyway, let's take a look inside. So it's pretty basic. I just made him a cave using some pieces of cork bark. I didn't have any cork rounds, so I shaved it over with my multi-tool just to give it a little bit of an arch and a better opening for him to get under it. And more room as it grows. And I put a little green in the corner just for looks and something to spray water on. And of course, I couldn't forget the air plant. And that's about it. Now it's time to get the spiders in. Oh yeah, real quick. I don't know if you noticed in the background up there, but I finally finished my shelf to complete the end of my TV stand. And now I have room for both Exoterra Nanos to fit on the bottom shelf. I'm going to start with this Brazilian blue, just because he's right here in front of me. Might as well get this lid close by, just in case I need to cover real quick. I said I wasn't going to pull him out, but I'm so interested to see him in there. Oh yeah, time out. I forgot to spray this one down. Especially that little plant right there. By the way, this air plant is also glued on the cork bark, so it's not sitting down in the dirt. Because Tillandsia doesn't feed from the roots. Right. Lid off. There you go, little buddy. You got a new house in here, bud. You're gonna love it, I promise. Come on out. Come on, buddy. You're gonna like it, I promise. I promise. There you go, buddy. Good boy. That's pretty easy.
But one time I wrestled a giraffe to the ground with my bare hands.
He's already in his new cave. Alright. That spider's done. Now we'll move on to the Versacolor. See how this works out. And as you can see, this thing's about too big for this enclosure. Look at all that webbing she's gonna miss. God, this webbing is so thick. Wish you could feel that. It's like a bulletproof vest. Figure out how to get past some of this webbing. There she is. Booyah. Time to go to your new house. I can get you in there now, Ma. Go that way. Should keep going back in it. Go out. This ain't your house no more. You're being evicted. You ain't pay your rent, man. Just be cool with me. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Can't let you crawl through that door, right? Well, there she is. Now I gotta get that out of there. There we go. Well, now I got them in the cages. Time to get them on the shelf. And if you're wondering how I reached the top, kind of like this. It's that simple. So as you can see, it's way too dark on this shelf. So I got on eBay and got these lights. See, my plan was to use that light strip on all three enclosures. But I didn't want to stick it to the top of each enclosure because how would I get the enclosures out if I needed to work on them? Or if I needed to fill the fogger up, which is behind these enclosures. So I came up with this. I made a series of these. I just took cardboard and cut it out and made the shape I wanted, painted it black, attached my LED strip. That way I can use it like a secondary lid, and my LED isn't stuck to the top of each enclosure. I mean, it's not the cleanest setup. As you can see the light coming through it. Probably fix that with some tape. Oh yeah, I did add these vents on both sides of the top, so each enclosure is getting good airflow through the top. Well, that pretty much sums it up for today's video. If you stuck with me this long, thanks for watching. I know not everybody's into tarantulas, but I think most of us can appreciate some artwork. And behind all the creepiness, it might have been a little. Anyway, make sure you like this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And if you got any friends that might like this content, share it with them. My projects may be small, but hey, we're growing every day, just like this channel. Until next time, y'all have a good one.